Alright, welcome back everybody. It's me, Uhfgood. So in this video, I am going to continue working out this story. This is our main story. And I don't know if you remember, depending on if you watch the video and when you watch the video, but remember I was saying that I thought this was too wordy for a plot point 2. Max reveals John is a long-lost prince and that his real mother and father, king and queen of Enchanted Lands, are still alive. Then gives him an ultimatum. If he doesn't give himself up, he's going to kill halfway and the king and the queen. However, if he gives himself up, he will release them despite the protest from his friends. He gladly gives himself up. Max didn't actually keep his word, but instead injects him with Quicksilver, realizing he's the only person... not realizing he's the only person that can withstand it. Now, this is fine for a plot point, and it really shouldn't matter that much whether I get rid of words, but I'm going to make this more concise because let's see something here. Well, this wasn't that long either. So, instead of actually removing it, I'm going to sort of... Here, I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to sort of box this in here like this. And then put an updated... It's basically an updated text, really. So it's not so much an updated... Oops. It's not so much an updated plot point. Okay, so John finds out he's the long-lost son of the king and queen. And allows himself to be captured in order to save his mom and dad and halfway. Okay, so now I don't know. Let's see, climax. Max decides to use John to turn on his machine with John's Quicksilver affinity. Princess Kira gathers everyone together to take on Max and his army. They make a plan. Finally decide to go, hopefully break John out of the spell. So they find him around machine. You think I could possibly make this shorter? Even if that is what really happens, it's sort of like this, you know. I don't want to put too much detail in these little plot points things here. Climax. Let's see something here. So climax is usually, right, the bad guy, he's about to do his worst, right? The climax in Star Wars is the Death Star is now bearing down on the moon of Yavin, and it's almost there, and it's almost getting ready to fire. And the rebels are still fighting, and it doesn't look like they're going to win. In fact, it looks like they're losing. So that's usually what happens in the climax, right? Because the resolution is usually when they win, basically. And you tie up loose ends. So our climax here is let's see something here. 5.2. Right. So the plot point, that's usually they look like they're losing, and then it's usually like an intense battle, or it's a, I don't know, that's not in everything, but Princess Karen and halfway. I actually don't even know where this battle is going to take place, but right now it could be on the castle. Maybe that would be more exciting. I don't know. This is still an adventure game though, so it's not like I'm going to put an action. It's not. I'm not going to have an action mini game or anything like that. Devise a plan to attack Max and rescue John and destroy the machine. Okay, so this is where they, they have to go on for the long haul. And then I think I also have to make John kind of more important than just that. So maybe Max uses John to turn on his machine, John's Quicksilver Affinity. So John has magic power too, right? And Max actually needs him to turn on his machine. So, okay, so they devise a plan. They go back into the Gnome Kingdom to face off against Max and his cohorts. And I don't know what to I'm in danger of actually making this long thing here. Make a plan to get the King Queen, break John out of the spell, find the machine. Oh. Right. John in a zombified state does Max's bidding until finally Mom and Karen wake him up and he actually destroys the machine. And actually, I'm not 100% positive, but no, wait, did I? Okay, I put the climax there. I'm not 100% positive, but he's going to do something like, he's not going to destroy it like you typical, he's not going to blow it up. Instead, he's going to reconfigure it to do something. Maybe to restore Enchanted Lands to the way they were or something. I don't know. I haven't really decided that yet, but we'll decide that when I'm working on chapter 5. So maybe I should say book 5. I don't know. I'll say chapter, I guess, still. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of it. Alright, so I guess I'll put another note up here. In fact, I'll put another note up here. See, sometimes I don't even look like Climax Sons, good guys destroy the machine, and battle ensues, and there'll probably be a battle, but it might not go exactly like that. And you'll find that sometimes I do that when I rewrite stuff. I'll rewrite it from my memory, and I kind of won't review my old stuff, and that's just sometimes how I work. So the note here that I was going to write is, was that about the battle? Oh, I forget what I was going to do here. Maybe I should just write this anyways, though. So, okay, so basically, there's a game called Shannara. It's based on the Terry Brooks novel Shannara novels, or Shannara. I think they pronounced it Shannara in the game, so I always thought it was Shannara because my brother was into those books a lot, and he thought they were really good, and that's how I think that's how he pronounced them. And but Shannara, whatever. So for the game of it, was it that, or was it Deathgate? No, it was for Shannara. They had a battle at one point in it, and basically you're not participating in the battle. In fact, you walk into the enemy camp, and then you're captured and you're put in a tent, and you hear the sounds of like battle outside the tent, right? And if you've played King's Quest 6, you know at the very end, the the Grand Vizier is using some sort of magic or something, I forget, and he pulls out his sword, and then there's nothing but like a ceremonial sword on the wall. So your character, what's his name in King's Quest 6? I can't think of his name. I can think of Princess Cosima. I can't think of what's his name's name. Uh, from Daventry. Anyways, he pulls this sword off the wall, and it's like too heavy because it's not really a battle sword. It's like a ceremonial. And so basically, what you have to do is you have to keep on clicking on the bad guy, and then they go kind of through this little like partial fight scene, and then before he ends up winning. So there's going to be a battle here, but you're not going to be fighting in the battle as far as gameplay, because this is not an action game or like an RPG, or it's not a combat kind of thing or anything like that. It's an old-fashioned adventure game, which doesn't really do mini games. In fact, if you remember, Full Throttle had these mini games like at one point you're racing against a biker gang, and you have to like kick them or punch them off, or you have weapons or something. And another one is it's like a destruction derby kind of, where you're a car, and it was pretty frustrating because sometimes it wouldn't work, and you'd have to keep playing it until you finally got it. And having arcade scenes is not very fun usually. So, but we're still going to have like this final battle. So most of the time it's going to be you're going to be playing one of the main characters, going through doing stuff. You'll see the battle at times in certain scenes, and you may even participate in certain things depending on how I write it, to where you're still in it in the story, but you don't have to go through any like arduous arcade sequence or whatever. You're not going to actually do the fighting, as in you're not going to be playing a fighting game. So I just kind of wanted to show that, because there is going to be a final battle there. We're going to have like werewolves, and Count Roy is going to bring his army of fellow vampires, bats. It's going to be like maybe even a running joke is that has a really large family, and so there's like a bat cave nearby, and they choose to hang out there instead of his hotel. But he brings his whole family, because really they're nice guys, against the werewolves. And you're gonna have, I don't know, you'll probably have tourists, and you'll have knights from the Knights Academy using real weapons, and you'll have some dragons and certain things like that. It's not going to be too huge. It's still a cartoon. It's still going to be kind of lighthearted, and so I'm not going to get too deep into that, but it will be there. So I guess look for that. will be a battle scene, but you won't have to play a battle to win or play the game. No mini games or arcade sequences. Okay. I probably even have that written down somewhere. But I guess that's enough for now. I guess I'll leave it there, and maybe the next video I will like play around with Grease Pencil. I haven't actually opened Grease Pencil. I just, you know, remember I installed my drivers for my tablet and stuff. So maybe I'll particularly play with Grease Pencil in the next video. We'll see. So I will see you then. Thanks for watching.